A very good morning to all of you. Am I audible? Yeah, perfect. So as discussed yesterday, we are starting the class at sharp 8:30, right? So let's stick to timings. So yesterday we had seen the basics, right? Yep. So in yesterday's class we had seen the basics. Let's continue from where we left yesterday, right? So let's start solving this question, please. Take 1 minute and get the answer of this. Yeah, let's look at this. Yeah, so it says a man walks 5/7 of its original speed and reaches office late by 10 minutes. So again, when I'm saying he's walking at 5/7 of his original speed, that means there is some original speed and there is some original time taken also because it's late by 10 minutes. Now, since I'm talking about 5/7 of the original speed, let us assume the speed is equal to 7x. This is the basic method. Clear? So if his original speed is 7x, I repeat, his distance is equal to speed into time. Okay. So let me assume his original speed is equal to 7x and the time taken is t minutes. Okay. Now t, there's no concept of using t in minutes, that is divided by 6. Now the same distance, if it's traveling at 5/7 of the original speed, now 5 by 7 of 7x will be nothing but 5x, right? So this time his new speed is 5x and is reaching late by 10 minutes, right? So he's taking 10 minutes more than the usual time. So if earlier I was taking t minutes to reach my office, now I'm taking t plus 10 minutes, right? Now again, this minutes will be converted in the form of hours. 60 and 60 would get cancelled. X and X would get cancelled. So all we get is 70 is equal to 5t plus 50, or we get 2t is equal to 50, or we get the value of t is equal to 50 by 2, that is equal to 20. This is the basic way of solving it, guys. Clear? Now, the simplest shortcut of these kind of questions is, please focus on this, right? The shortcut. If it's traveling at 5/7 of his original speed, please understand the time taken will be 7/5 of the original time. The logic is simple. If distance is constant, speed is inversely proportional to time. Here, I repeat, if his new speed is 5/7 of the original speed, then his new time becomes 7/5 of the original time. Clear? Now, if I'm saying 7/5 of the original time, just subtract t from here. That should be equal to 10 minutes late. Clear? So you get the answer in one shot there. So, or in short, you can subtract the numerator from denominator. 7/5t will give me 2t/5 because you're subtracting with 5/5t, no? So 2t/5 is equal to 10, 2 ones are 2 fives, or the value of t is equal to 25 minutes. So it's not just a shortcut, it's just a quicker method of solving. We are applying speed is inversely proportional to time given distance is constant. Clear, guys? Yep, moving to the next one, please. Yep, can we solve this, please? Take 2 minutes. No, not even two. Now you just need 1 minute to solve this. If you want to go by the shortcut, let's discuss it together. 7/5 of the original speed. Now, in both the cases, is covering the same distance. Clear? In both the cases, is covering the same distance. So again, the same concept. If is walking at 7/5 of the original speed, the time taken will be 5/7 of the original time. Clear? Now, if you are subtracting t from here, please understand is reaching 24 minutes early. 24 minutes early can also be written as minus 24. Clear? So what do you get from here? You get minus 2t/7 is equal to minus 24. Or simple, just subtract numerator from denominator, you'll get your answer, guys. So minus and minus gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2 12s are. So therefore, the value of t is equal to 12 sevens are 84 minutes. Clear? Moving forward, guys. Yep. Can we solve this, please? Yeah. Let's look at this question now. Now, this question says that now two ways here. Okay. Now, this question says that if it's traveling at 30 kilometers per hour, is reaching office 15 minutes late. Now, concept is quite simple. If he's traveling 30 kilometers per hour, let us say his usual time to reach the office is t minutes. Okay. Now he's reaching 15 minutes late. So t minutes is reaching t plus 15 minutes. Right. Now this is in kilometers per hour and this is in minutes. So therefore I have to divide by 60. I repeat, the first point that we have discussed yesterday is make the units same. Clear? So this becomes my distance covered. Now in the second case also is traveling the same distance, whereas if he's increasing his speed to 40, right, he's reaching 10 minutes early. So 10 minutes earlier than the usual time, okay? So that's t minus 10 by 60. Now if we equate this, what do we get? So let me write it here. So 30 by 60, let's say into t plus 15 is equal to 40 by 60 into t minus 10, right? So 60 and 60 gets cancelled, 0 and 0 gets cancelled. So what do we get from here? So we get 3t plus 45 is equal to 4t minus 40. Or when you transpose the values, you get the value of t is equal to 85. So some of you gave me the answer as 85. Now please understand you are wrong here. Now why are you wrong? Because you have calculated the time, but the question is asking you find the distance covered. Clear? And another, my distance is either going to be this value or it's going to be this value. You can replace 85 in any one of these equations. Let me replace in the first equation. So that's 30 by 60 into 85 plus 15. Clear? So that's 1 by 2 and 1 by 2, 2 ones are 2 50s are. So therefore the answer, right answer is going to be 50 kilometers. So please take one more tip from me for the day, that please read the question statement before you are solving it. Clear? Yep. Can we solve this question, please? Yep. So a person saves 60 minutes by increasing his speed by 25 percentage. Now quite simple. It's a similar to previous question, just that he has just slightly changed the values. 25% is the increase in speed. So if I assume his old speed as s, clear? I know that his new speed will be nothing but 100 plus 25 by 100 of s. Simple. Clear? So in a way, if you start understanding, he is traveling at 5/4 of the usual speed. If he's traveling at 5/4 of the usual speed, the time taken becomes 4 by 5 of the usual time. Now the shortcut says subtract the numerator from denominator. So that becomes 1 by 5t is equal to, he's saving how many minutes? 6 minutes. So the value of t is equal to 30 minutes. This becomes the shortcut. Go in a very plain way. If the question comes on these lines and is asking you the usual time, directly use the shortcut. In the previous question, he did not ask you the usual time. That is the major reason I did not go with the shortcut case. Having said this, can this be solved through proportionality? Of course, yes. But please appreciate this is a simpler method of solving as compared to proportionality. Clear? right? Now let's move into average speed. Now what is average speed? Now please understand, average speed is not average of the speeds. The average speed is nothing but total distance covered by total time taken. It's coming from the concept of average only. Sum of all the values by number of values, right? So I know that speed is equal to distance by time, right? So if I am applying average, average is nothing but sum of all the observations, right? So it's going to be d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus d4. So whenever I have more than one instance of distance traveled, I bring in average speed. Clear? Divided by, I'm talking about t1 plus t2 plus t3 because I'll have all the separate time zones for each and every distance covered. So please do not get confused with average of the speeds. Generally, students calculate average of the speeds. Now, this is completely different from average speed. Clear? The way we were committing some mistakes in weighted averages, if you remember. Clear? Yeah, let's solve this, please. Yep. So again, two distances covered, 20 kilometers and 30 kilometers. Right. So I repeat, my average speeds formula is going to be nothing but total distance covered by total time taken. Clear? Right. So what do I get from here? So 20 kilometers at a speed of 30. So we'll come back to that later. And I have covered 30 kilometers here. So two distances covered. Now the time taken is going to be distance upon speed. And here also my time taken will be distance upon speed. Clear? So what do I get? So I get this is 2 by 3 and I get this as 1 by 3. Okay. Now 2 by 3 plus 1 by 3 is 1 hour only. So therefore my answer becomes 50 by 1, which is going to be 50 kilometers per hour. Simple formula to start off with a simple question. Clear? Let's solve this, please. Yeah, now let's come down to first simple model of average speed. Okay, now if you observe, let me just change this. Okay, so let us take this as a distance of d. Everybody please stop solving. Let us take this as distance of d, and I know that this is also the same distance covered, right? Now whenever two equal distances are covered, you can directly remember a formula. This is, I repeat, this is only for two distances covered. Clear? Now let's first derive it, don't worry. Now I'm assuming this as S1, or let's say, yeah, S1, and I'm assuming this as S2. Okay. So what is happening? I'm writing this as D plus D. Okay. Divided by, this becomes D by S1 plus this becomes D by S2. Clear? Because both the cases the distance traveled is same. Time taken for the first part is this. So what happens? If I further simplify, this becomes 2D, and I can take a D common from the denominator, and I will get 1 by S1 plus 1 by S2. Sorry. Clear? So your D and D gets cancelled. Now if you simplify this, 1 by S1 plus 1 by S2, clear? What is 1 by S1 plus 1 by S2? So if you look at the denominator, your S1, S2 is your LCM. So this becomes S1 plus S2, and the numerator has a 2. So simplified form becomes 2S1 S2 by S1 plus S2. Clear? So I repeat, you can remember this formula that if two equal distances are covered. Clear? I've just derived the formula, nothing else. Clear? So the concept here is simple. If two equal distances are covered, clear? Then you can directly replace the formula of average speed as, let me replace it as 2AB by A plus B. Clear? Where A and B are the speeds. Right? So which means your 160 will not hold any importance here. So you can directly replace this as 2 into 64 into 80 divided by 64 plus 80. So that becomes 2 into 64 into 80 divided by 144. So two ones and this becomes 272s. This is 8 tens are, and this is 8 nines are. So the answer is going to be nothing but 640 divided by 9. So 71.11 kilometers per hour will be your answer. Clear? More than that, the most important point is exploring the shortcut. Clear? I repeat, this is specifically for two equal distances. In case three distances are covered, please do not use your engineer brain. Okay. When I talk about our engineer brain, we feel we are smart enough and we write 2A, B, C by A plus B plus C. Or some a little more smarter students might be 3ABC by A plus B plus C. Now, please do not apply this. This will be completely wrong. The reason I helped you to derive is so that you can derive and also calculate your formulas as well. Clear? So for three, if you want, you can derive it on your own. Do not worry. Or if the question comes, I'll derive it again for you. Right? But by now, I'm sure you should be able to derive the formula. Right? Can we solve this, please? Yeah, so Atul covered 1/4 of the distance. I repeat, guys, I do not want my fractions. Try to simplify. So let me assume my total distance is equal to 4x. Clear? So what is 1/4 of the distance? So x is the first part and the remaining part will be 3x. Clear? Now 1/4 of the total distance at a speed of 30. So x at a speed of 30 and 3x at a speed of 90. So it's going to be very simple in terms of numbers. Clear? So if you observe, your x will get cancelled from the numerator and denominator. So let me write it as 4. And this becomes 1 by 30 plus again 1 by 30, right? So that becomes 4 into 30 divided by 2, which is going to be nothing but 60 kilometers per hour. Clear? Will be your average speed. Same question, right? No, slightly different. Now, I repeat, somebody was asking me, sir, how did you assume 4? I repeat, guys, in aptitude, try to avoid fractions here. Okay. Now, 1/4 of the total time, right? So, 1/4 of the total time. I write like this, no? Clear? Now, if I want to avoid fractions, I have to cancel my denominator. If I have to cancel my denominator, I take a multiple of denominator in the numerator. So 4 and 4 would get cancelled. Clear? So therefore, the value you get is t here. Right? So if I assume my total time taken as 4t, okay. Now 1/4 of the total time. So first part he is traveling for t minutes or t hours, and for the rest of the journey he is traveling for 3t hours. Now t into 30 is speed into time is the distance covered in the first case. Speed into time is the distance covered in the second case. Divided by 4t becomes your complete answer. Clear? So 270 plus 30 will give you 300. 300t by 4t. So t and t gets cancelled and therefore the answer is going to be 75 kilometers per hour. Clear? Now, now please understand, I want you to take through a shortcut here, okay? Now the shortcut that says is, now let's come back to average speeds formula, okay? Now my average speed is distance 1 plus distance 2 divided by speed 1 plus speed 2. Okay, sorry, time 1 plus time 2, my bad. Yeah, time 1 plus time 2. Now can I write my distance 1 as speed 1 into time 1 and my distance 2 as speed 2 into time 2 divided by t1 plus t2. Now can you link up this with alligations, guys? Can I say this is the formula of weighted averages? If you observe, this is a direct formula of weighted averages. Now please understand, we get the ratio of denominator, which means if we alligate the speeds, we get the ratio of time taken. This is the model that I did not teach you in alligations. Clear? So my simple logic is 30 is one of my speeds, 90 is my second speed. I do not know the average. Clear? Once I alligate them, I get the ratio of the time taken. So this becomes 90 minus x and this becomes x minus 30, 1/4 of the time and 3/4 of the time. Please understand, 4 and 4 will get cancelled, t and t will get cancelled. So one more method of doing this can also be 90 minus x by x minus 30. Clear? So 1/4 of the time at 30 and the rest of the time at 90. So when you cross multiply, you'll get the same answer. So this is how you apply alligations in average speed. Clear? Yep. Let's solve this, please. Yep. So what is the question talking about? The question says a person traveled in a car from A to B with a speed of 40, right? And then returned back to A at a speed of 60. Thank God you did not give me 50 as the answer. Clear? So please understand, he's going from A to B and coming back to A. So therefore the distance covered is same in both the cases. Clear? So the distance covered is same, then the answer becomes 2 into A into B divided by A plus B. So this is going to be 4800 divided by 100 and therefore your answer is going to be 48 kilometers per hour. So all of you are correct. Yep, can you solve this please? Yep. So a man covers equal distances at a speed of 30 kilometers an hour, 30 kilometers per hour, and x kilometers per hour, and the entire speed. The average speed of entire journey is 80 kilometers per hour. Clear? So two equal distances. So we can directly apply 2ab by a plus b. So 2 into 30 into x divided by 30 plus x is equal to the average speed of the entire journey. So 80 gets cancelled, 2 ones are 2 fours are, so we have 3x is equal to 120 plus 4x. Clear? Right? Which means such kind of case is not possible at all. As per this question, the answer is cannot be determined because you cannot get the speed as negative. Clear? So the answer here becomes the value of x cannot be determined, or no such value of x exists. Clear, guys? Moving forward, can we solve this, please? We're dealing with this, right? Yeah. Sorry, let's get 28, guys. I'm sorry. Yep. Now, when he has three equal distances, guys, the best part you can do is you can assume the total distance to be a multiple of the speeds given to you 10, 20, and 60. Okay. So we know first one third, the next one third, and the last one third. So in all the cases, it has covered one third, one third, and one third. Clear? So in all the cases, the distances covered is equal. So if you want to simplify it, shortcut instead of deriving the formula is assume the total, sorry, each part of the distance, I'm sorry. Assume the each part of the distance to be LCM of the speeds given to you. So 10, 20, and 60. What is the LCM of 10, 20, and 60? That is 60. So I repeat, since the distances are equal, first part the distance is 60. Second part, the distance is 60, and third part, the distance is 60. Now here you will not have trouble in terms of the values here. So you can see this, the numbers are going to be very lovely here. So this is going to be 6, this is going to be 3, and this is going to be 1. So 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. So you have 180 by 10, which means your answer is going to be 18 kilometers per hour. So I repeat, this can be the shortcut if you are going with 3 equal distances. Clear? If you want the formula, then the formula goes like this: 3ABC by AB plus BC plus AC. I don't think so. We need to derive this. So I get 3 into D divided by, we get D by A plus D by B plus D by C. If you expand, you get this only. D will get cancelled. 1 by A plus 1 by B plus 1 by C is going to be nothing but AB, BC, CA by ABC. Clear? But more than that, I would rather start assuming this to be the easier part of looking at it. Yeah, let's solve this, please. Yep, so let's look at this question. So it says a man travels one third of the distance at 45 kilometers per hour, half of the distance. So understand, I'm talking about one third of the distance. According to this, my distance should be a multiple of 3. Clear? And again, I'm talking about half the distance. So according to this, the distance should be a multiple of 2. So when you have a denominator called 3 and when you have a denominator called 2, assume the distance to be LCM of 3 comma 2, which will be how much? 6x. Clear? So what is one third of 6x? That means that is traveling 2x for the first part. At what speed? At a speed of 45, plus half of the distance will be 3x, half of 6, okay? So 3x, it's traveling at a speed of 60, and the last part is going to be x, because so total distance is 6x only, and x, it will be traveling at the speed of 36. So x will get cancelled. Your answer is going to be 6 divided by 2 by 45 plus 3 by 60 plus 1 by 36. If you're good at calculation, the LCM is going to be 180. So I'm just simplifying the calculation for you guys. This would be nothing but 6 into 180. Now 45 into 4 is 180. I'm skipping one step, okay? 60 into 3 is 180. And 36 into 5 is 180. Sorry, 1 into 5. So this should be your answer, guys. So 2 4s are 8, 8 plus 9 or 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 plus 9 is 22. Clear? So 6 into 18, 180 by 22 should be your answer. This is 2 3s are and 2 11s are. So your answer becomes 540 by 11. 49.09 should be your answer, guys. Somebody is asking me, sir, half of the distance means can we take half of the remaining distance? Why? Did he tell you half of the remaining distance, Amma? Is there a word called half of the remaining distance? So I'm avoiding taking the names of the students because some students are getting conscious. So whosoever has asked the doubt, which is a very valid doubt, please appreciate the fact the question has not told you to calculate half of the remaining distance, okay? The question has asked you to calculate half of the distance, right? When I say half of the distance, that means I'm assuming that to be the total distance, right? And the rest of the distance. So here the base value is the total distance only. In fact, a very valid doubt, but please understand the question has not used the word called remaining. Clear? Yeah, now what is the simplified shortcut here, guys? How many times? No, it's we do not know about that here. Now the average of the entire bus. Now please understand the stoppage time. Sorry. Yeah. If you want, there's a direct formula. The stoppage time. If you get these kind of questions, okay, the stoppage time is going to be nothing but 1 minus old speed. Clear? Sorry, 1 minus the stoppage speed. Let us use the term, okay? The speed with stoppage, okay? So I'm terming that as stoppage speed divided by non-stop speed. This into 60 will be the total stoppage time in minutes. Clear? So this is going to be 1 minus 45 by 54 into 60. Clear? So that's going to be how much? This is 5 by 6. So 1 minus 5 by 6, that's going to be 1 by 6. 1 by 6 into 60. So the bus is stopping for 10 minutes. You can directly remember the formula if you want to directly remember the formula. So it's a standard model. Clear? It's a standard model where we go ahead on these lines. Any doubts? Anybody wants to understand the basic model? Or we are just busy with remembering the formula and going forward? Yeah. So somebody's asking the basic method. Yeah, let's discuss the basic method here. See, understand what is the logic behind it, okay? So the logic is quite simple. It says the average speed of the bus, okay? Now simple. So there was some distance, there was some time taken, right? The bus had taken 54. Now please understand, For the same distance, if the bus is stopping and going, stopping and going, stopping and going, the time would have definitely increased. Now, because the denominator is increasing, the value of the fraction is decreasing. Okay. So let me tell you, in short, the speed of the bus is not changing. So if you want a very basic method, let me go ahead in 1 hour, or let me write it this way. Earlier, without stoppage, the bus was traveling 54 kilometers in 60 minutes. Okay. But now the bus has traveled 45 kilometers only. Clear? Now to cover 45 kilometers, tell me at the earlier speed, how much time will the bus take? So the bus will take 45 by 54 kada? Distance by speed. These many hours. That means the bus will take 5 by 6 hours. 5 by 6 into 60 means what? The bus has taken 50 minutes to cover the same distance. Clear? When I'm saying which stoppage the speed has reduced, please understand the speed has reduced. I mean, not that the speed has reduced. The average speed has reduced because I'm taking more time now. So effectively the speed of the bus is not changing. So I'm taking 1040 to cover 45 kilometers at earlier speed. The bus is taking 50 minutes only. So this is your travel time. If you remember yesterday's question, clear? But what is the total time taken by the bus? The total time taken by the bus is 45 kilometers in 1 hour. Okay. So I repeat, the total time taken by the bus, that is 60 minutes, will be equal to your travel time plus the stoppage time, right? So that's going to be 50 plus, therefore the bus is stopping for every 10 minutes in how many hours of journey? 1 hour of journey. Clear guys? So this is the basic method. I repeat, the speed of the bus is not changing, but the average speed of the bus is changing. Now, why is the average speed of the bus changing? Because the bus is taking extra time. Now, what is the rationale behind it? If the denominator is increasing and the numerator remains the same, the value of the fraction goes down. Right? So now the bus is covering 45 kilometers. So the travel time will be at the earlier speed only. So 45 by 54, so the bus has taken 50 minutes to travel. But I know now the bus is taking 45 kilometers in 1 hour. So 50 minutes is to travel. So therefore 10 minutes will be to stop. And I repeat, somebody is asking, so how is it 45 by 54? I repeat, to cover 45 kilometers at earlier speed, at 54 speed. So the time taken will be 45 by 54. Please appreciate the speed of the bus is not changing. The average speed is reducing. Okay. Now I repeat once again the formula. I'm sure you will definitely prefer the formula. Even I do prefer the formula. So my stoppage time in hours. Okay. Stoppage time in hours. Please focus on this. If it has to be in hours, it is 1 minus stoppage speed by non-stop speed. Clear? But if the question is asking you in minutes, simple, I got these many hours, right? So if I'm looking at in minutes, I'm multiplying by 60. Clear? Stoppage time per hour in the form of hours only, okay? This is per hour as per the question. The answer for this, stoppage time per hour in terms of hours, okay? So stoppage time per hour in terms of minutes will be 1 minus stoppage speed by non-stop speed. This is in terms of hours, right? Into 60. This becomes our answer. Clear? Yep. Somebody's asking. I'll just clarify your doubts, guys. Let's first understand average speed. Right now, relative speed of one body with respect to other is the average speed. Yeah, guys who have just sent me doubts, I'll get back to you guys. Don't worry. Now, points to remember while solving average speed. Now, please understand in which direction is the body moving. Now, whenever two bodies are moving, we calculate average or relative speed, right? Now, if bodies are moving in same direction, it is going to be speed of the faster minus speed of the slower. And if body is moving in same direction, then it's going to be speed of the faster plus speed of the slower. Clear? So this is with respect to direction. And second, we also have to look at relative distance. Now, distance separating both the bodies at the same time. Clear? Now, we'll experience this with the help of a question. Do not worry. In this case, the time taken with respect to the object starting later should be considered, and the distance separating both of them at this point of time is to be considered. I'll explain this with the help of an example. Do not worry. So, simple funda, where do I use relative speed is going to be time taken to meet is relative distance upon relative speed. Clear? So, when the question is asking us the time taken to meet, we can always use relative speed. Right? Yeah. Let's look at this question, please. Take 1 minute. I'll clarify the doubts of the other students. Guys who have asked doubts, I'm replying to your queries, guys. Please check your inbox. Yeah, let's try to understand relative speed with the help of this example. A perfect example to start relative speed as a concept. Okay. Now, two trains a train P starts from A towards B, which means that the distance AB. Okay. So I have a distance called AB. Now, train P starts from A at 8 a.m. Okay. At a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Now, train Q starts at 9 a.m. at 75 kilometers per hour. Clear? Right? Now, find the time at which both the trains will meet. Now, fair enough. Now, two bodies are moving in opposite direction. So let's look at the pointers to remember. The first thing that I need to know is the direction in which they are moving. Now, why will I know the direction? Because relative speed will be a factor of direction. So both of them are moving in opposite direction, which means towards each other. So my relative speed would become nothing but the addition of their speed. So 60 plus 75. So therefore my relative speed is going to be 135. Clear? Now second point we needed to remember was the relative distance. Now please understand, if you did not understand the paragraph in the previous slide, My only thing that I need to ask is, are both of them starting together? No, both of them are not starting together. Clear? So Q is starting at 9 o'clock and P is starting at 8 o'clock. So let me see, where is P going to be at 9 o'clock? Okay. So at 9 o'clock, that means from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, P has traveled for 1 hour. So the P would have covered a distance of 1 into 60, that is 60 kilometers. Clear? At 9 o'clock. Now, since now P is at 9 o'clock here and Q is at 9 o'clock here, so your this distance will become your relative distance. Your total distance is 330. From 330, if you subtract 60, so therefore 270 becomes your total distance. Clear? So this is your relative distance, the distance separating both the bodies at the same time frame. So I repeat, oh, sorry. Yeah. So P is here at 9 o'clock and Q is here at 9 o'clock. So the distance separating both the bodies at the same time will be the relative distance. Now we can apply the formula. Time taken to meet will be relative distance upon relative speed. That means they will meet after 2 hours. Now 2 hours from where? Now 270 is this distance. That means we are talking about 2 hours from 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock plus 2 o'clock, they are going to meet at 11 a.m. Now this summarizes your relative speed as a complete, simple concept altogether. Clear? Yeah, let's look at 31st question now. Yep. So are both of them starting together? So Thief escapes from the prison at 2 p.m. I repeat once again, guys. Relative distance is nothing but the distance separating both the bodies at the same time frame. Now the thief starts at 2 o'clock and the police realizes the escape at 3 o'clock. So focus on the person who is starting later. So let me see what is the position of both of them at 3 o'clock. Okay. So for others who have not understood, I repeat, they are not starting together. Focus on the person who is starting late. The police is starting at 3 o'clock, right? So my job will be to understand the distance separating both of them at 3 o'clock. So police has just started from the prison. So I say police is here at 3 o'clock. Okay, it's just starting from the prison. But the thief escaped at 2 o'clock, right? So if I want to know the position of thief at 3 o'clock, I know thief has ran for 1 hour at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. So therefore I know thief at 3 o'clock would have covered how much? 60 kilometers. This becomes your relative distance. Clear? Now, so now both of them are, so if the police starts chasing the thief, if the police starts chasing the thief, which means both of them are moving in the same direction. So let's apply the formula now. The time taken to meet is going to be your relative distance upon relative speed. Clear? So relative distance separating both of them at the same time is 60 kilometers at 3 o'clock. Okay. Now the police is running at 75. Both of them are moving in same direction. So it is going to be difference of their speeds. Clear? So they are meeting after how many hours? They are meeting after 4 hours. So from 3 o'clock, 4 hours. So at what time is the thief caught? The thief is caught at 7 o'clock. Clear? Or 4 hours from 3 o'clock. Okay. And how far from the prison? So let's understand. If they are meeting somewhere here, thief and police. Now, if I want from prison, my prison is here. Let's do simple, no? So I know that police has covered this complete distance in 4 hours. So in 4 hours, police would have covered how much? 4 into 75. So 4 into 75 will be 300. So one shot, your answer becomes 300 kilometers from the prison. The thief is caught. Clear, guys? Either ways, yeah, you can also go from thief's point of view as well. So thief has covered this distance in 4 hours. Okay, only this distance. So in 4 hours, 4 into 60, 240, 240 plus 60 is 300. So 300 becomes your answer. Clear? Yeah, let's move forward. Let's solve this, please. This is an application-based question, which is slightly indirect. Okay. So in this chapter, we are also looking at application-based questions. Now let's start understanding here. A very simple way of doing this can be, I'm not applying relative speed here. Okay. Let's see. The thief started from here at 2 o'clock, right? I repeat, the thief started from here at 2 o'clock. I do not know at what time is the police starting. and the thief reached here at 9:30. Okay, so can say the thief has ran from this point, let's say A to B. I can define that my distance AB will be nothing but 60 into 7.5 hours. Clear? So 60 into 7.5 will be how much? 450 kilometers. This is distance. Okay. Now, I do not know at what time did the police start. But I know one thing, that police reached here at 9:30 p.m. Clear? So which means I know that police has covered 450 kilometers at its own speed. So let me take 75 kilometers per hour. So let me see in how many hours is the police reaching the distance from here to that point. So this is 15 into 30 and 15 into 5. And this is 5 ones are 5 6 are. That means the police has covered this complete distance in how many hours? 6 hours. So it was reaching at 9:30, running for 6 hours. Can I say police started from here at 3:30? So the police is starting at 3:30. Find the duration after which the police started the chase. That means thief ran at 2 o'clock and the police started running at 3 o'clock. That means the police started the chase 1.5 hours after the thief ran away. Just repeating once again, guys. So the thief started from here at 2 o'clock and the thief reached here at 9:30. I know one thing for sure. See, understand what are the hints given to you here. If you're getting stuck, you just need to understand what is the hint given to you. So I'm given 2 o'clock thief starts. Thief is caught at 9:30. That means I can know the time for which the thief has traveled. Okay. The time for which the thief has traveled is nothing but 7.5 hours. This is given to me. Next, what am I given? I'm also given the speed of the thief. Now the speed of the thief is 60. So can I say the total distance from the prison to the point of being caught? Okay. This total distance will be nothing but 7.5 into 60, that is 450 kilometers. Okay. Now I know that police also started from here. The only thing is I do not know at what time. Okay. And I also know that the police has reached here at 9:30 only. And I also know the speed of police. Now, what is the speed of police? The speed of police is 75. And from this point, I know that the distance also covered by police is equal to 450. So therefore, with these 2 points, I can say the time taken is equal to 450 by 75. That is 6 hours. Right? Now, what is 6 hours? Police reached here at 9:30. Traveling for 6 hours. So that means police started from here at 3:30. Now is it clear? So some of you asked me to repeat once again. So from 2 o'clock, thief ran away and police started at 3:30. So that means police started 1.5 hours after the thief started. Clear, guys? Please respond. The guys who had a doubt. Remember, we had seen this question yesterday. It was slightly different question. Guys, 1 second. Let us go to the yesterday's question, which was on relative speed. Remember, I told you that we'll discuss in relative speed concept also. Just 1 second. Let me go back. Yeah, what was that question? Not this, not this, not this. Yeah. Can we solve this now, please? With the help of relative speed? And then we'll get back to our question. Don't worry. Yeah, let's look at this together. So it says A and B are 90 kilometers apart. Okay. A car starts chasing from A and another car starts chasing from B at the same time. So can I say here relative distance separating both of them is 90? Right? Now both of them are, let's say if they go in opposite direction, they meet in 9 by 7 hours. So can I say speed of A plus speed of B is equal to 9 by 7? This will give you one case. So what do you get directly from here? So I get A plus B is equal to 70. Now again, both of them are here and now they are moving in same direction and they meet after 9 hours. So again, if they start together, the distance separating them is 90. If they are moving in same direction, A minus B. Now this they are meeting in 9 hours. So that means I directly get A minus B is equal to how much? 10. Clear? So we have A plus B is equal to 70 and A minus B is equal to 10. We get 2A is equal to 80 or we get A is equal to 40. If A is equal to 40, B is equal to 30. Now is this point clear with all of us guys? This is a very simple question for relative speed here, okay? Now let's get back to our question. I guess we have done this. Yeah, not this. Yeah, we are looking at this, right? Okay, let's complete it. Yeah, let's look at this, guys. So it says two persons A and B are separated by a certain distance. If they move towards each other, they meet after 20 minutes, which means simple, they're starting at the same time, guys. Do not worry here. So they are same, similar to the previous question. So the distance divided by A plus B, the time taken is 20 minutes. So you can divide by 60, it should not be a problem. Distance divided by A minus B, and the time taken is 100, again you can divide by 60. Clear? So divide both the cases, your D and D would get cancelled. 60 would get cancelled. So what do I get? I get A minus B by A plus B is equal to 1:5. Clear? So what do you get? You get 5A minus 5B is equal to A plus B. Or you get 4A is equal to 6B. Or you get A is to B is equal to 3 is to 2. So 3 is to 2 is your right answer. Clear, guys? Yep, let's look at the last question of the day, guys. In the next class, we'll discuss trains and both side streams. Yep, so let's look at this question, guys. Should be the last question of the day. Navjeevan Express, clear, from Ahmedabad to Chennai, leaves Ahmedabad at 6:30 a.m. and travels at 50 kilometers per hour towards Baroda, which is situated 100 kilometers away. So if you understand, so I have Ahmedabad, I have Baroda, and the gap between them is going to be 100. So there's a Navjeevan Express starting at 6:30, traveling at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. Clear? At 7 a.m., Howrah Ahmedabad Express leaves Baroda towards Ahmedabad at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Clear? Now there's a traffic controller who is watching or who started seeing both the trains at 7:30. At 7:30, Mr. Shah, a traffic controller at Baroda, realizes that both the trains are running on the same track. So this guy saw at 7:30, right? So I need to first understand at 7:30 where are the trains? Clear? So at 7:30, if I need to look at this train, so Howrah train at 7:30, that means we have traveled for half an hour. So it would have traveled 20 kilometers. Clear? Navjeevan Express at 7:30 would have traveled for 1 hour, and 1 hour it would have covered a distance of 50 kilometers. So 50 plus 20 is 70, right? Now that means when Mr. Shah saw both the trains, right? He realized that at 7:30 both the trains are 30 kilometers apart. Clear? I repeat, at 7:30 both the trains are 30 kilometers apart. Both of them are running in opposite directions. Clear? Is it both of them are running in opposite direction? The relative speed becomes 50 plus 90. Sorry, 50 plus 40. Which means the time taken by them to meet will be 30 by 90, that is 1/3 of an hour.
or let's multiply by 60, which means Mr. Shah knows that both the trains will collide after 20 minutes, right? So therefore, how much time does he have to avoid the collision? So he has 20 minutes to avoid a head-on collision between both the trains.
Clear? So we'll start from trains kind of models tomorrow, guys. So we are done with average speed, we are done with basic proportionality, basic questions, and we have also done with relative speed. Clear? So from tomorrow, we'll be discussing the questions on trains and boats and streams, and mostly we'll be winding up this topic tomorrow. Okay? Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, what is the doubt, Venu? Let's open the floor for doubts. What's the doubt? Others can leave, guys. Thanks a lot. Guys, please explain me what is the doubt, else I'll be uploading the video. You can revisit the whole question once again by afternoon here. Venu, again, what are you not able to understand, Kana? The last 34, what last part? Explain me what is the last part? 7:30 part, 6:30 part, what part? Just give me a hint. This train is starting at 6:30. 7:30, did you read the question, Venu? He says that at 7:30, Mr. Shah saw both the trains. So I want to see where are both the trains at 7:30, Kana. Now this train started at 7 o'clock. అయితే 7:30లో హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ ఉంటుంది కదా, హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ ఇంటూ 40, so this distance becomes 20 కదా. This train started at 6:30, now he is here at 7:30, so 6:30 to 7:30 అంతా 1 hour. Now this train is running at what speed? 50. అయితే at 7:30 he saw that both the trains are how many kilometers away? This total distance is 100, this guy covered 20, this guy covered 50, so can I say both the trains are 30 kilometers away? So 30 kilometers is the distance separating both of them at 7:30. Both of them are moving in opposite direction. Clear? Meher, please download the app, Meher. 33, who are the out here? It's not 30 minutes, Sai, because both of them are not traveling for 30 minutes, Sai. The first train has started at 6:30, the second train has started at 7 o'clock. That is the only reason we are calculating relative speed, Sai. 33, who had a doubt? Meher, I think your doubt is clear. Please download an app. It's an Android app. I'll message you, Meher. Or you can also personally message me. We'll discuss it on WhatsApp. All the videos are uploaded in the app. 33, who had a doubt here? Anyone with 33? Ashwin, explain me what is the doubt in question number 18. 18 was yesterday's question, Kana. Yep, 32. What is the doubt? Somebody was asking what is the difference between 31 and 32. There's no difference, Amma. The only difference is the calculations are different, Amma. You should be able to understand what is the difference. In 32, in 31, I am given the time at which police started, I am given the time at which thief started. Police started at 3 o'clock, thief started at 2 o'clock. But when you go to 32, I do not know at what time did the police start. I am told that the thief started at 2 o'clock only. So it's nothing but Sindhu. It's nothing but the way in which the question has been given, nothing else. Clear? Next doubt. Yeah, somebody asked 18. What is the doubt, Kana? Chepu. 18. How can this question be a doubt? Yeah, explain. Yeah, Ashwin, tell me what is the doubt. Wait, this is the first question. Were you late, Ashwin? Ashwin, did you join the class late? Yeah, so please revisit the video, Kana. Yeah, so please revisit the video here. I told you yesterday also, if you're coming late, please don't punish me for coming late here. I'm here to clarify all your doubts, but not that you have missed the concept, you joined the class late. So I'm not liable to repeat once again. For that, I'll be uploading the video by today afternoon. Please check in the app, okay? Any other doubts? I'm ready to explain. Yeah. Any other doubts, guys? It's easy to pick, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, all of them are same models. You asked question number 18. So that was a very easy move to understand that you joined the class late. Yeah, guys, thanks a lot. I'll be uploading the video by afternoon. Give me around 2 to 3 hours. This will be done. And have a great day, guys. Thanks a lot.